We'll start out with Borough of Colwyn, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, resolution number 2015-03. A resolution of the Borough of Colwyn, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, authorizing the Borough Council and officers of the Borough of Colwyn to seek a determination of municipal financial distress and to make an application for aid under authority of the Municipalities Financial Recovery Act, Act 47 of 1987, as amended, and to ratify and confirm any and all actions theretofore taken and petitions and documents theretofore executed on behalf of the Borough of Colwyn by and through its council and officers. Whereas the Borough of Colwyn, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, has experienced municipal financial distress as evidenced by, but not limited to, a belief that Colwyn has maintained a deficit over a 3-year period with a deficit of 1% or greater in each of the previous fiscal years, and a belief that Colwyn expenditures have exceeded revenues for a period of 3 years or more, and a belief that Colwyn has accumulated and operated for each of 2 consecutive years a deficit equal to 5% or more of its revenues, and a belief that Colwyn has failed to make the budgeted payments on its minimum municipal obligations as required by Section 302, 303, or 602 of the Act of December 18, 1984, known as the Municipal Pension Plan Funding Standard and Recovery Act, with respect to a pension fund during the fiscal years for which the payment was budgeted, and has failed to take action within that time period to make required payments. Amended December 19, 1988. Whereas Colwyn desires to file a petition to seek a determination of municipal financial distress under and by authority of the Municipalities Financial Recovery Act 47 of 1987 as amended. Therefore be it resolved that on the 19th day of February 2015 by the Borough Council of the Borough of Colwyn, that the council and officers of the Borough of Colwyn are hereby authorized to seek a determination of municipal financial distress and to seek financial aid by way of loans, grants, or otherwise under, by authority of the Municipalities Financial Recovery Act. Be it resolved further that the proper officers of Colwyn and hereby authorized on behalf of Colwyn to execute petitions or other documents to seek a determination of municipal financial distress and to execute applications, petitions, agreements, contracts, or other documents necessary to apply for and to secure aid for the Borough of Colwyn from the Department of Community and Economic Development under and by authority of the Municipalities Financial Recovery Act 47 of 1987 as amended, and be it further resolved that any and all actions theretofore be taken and all petitions or documents whatsoever therefore executed on behalf of the Borough of Colwyn relate to seeking a determination of municipal financial distress and relative to seeking aid by way of grants, loans, or otherwise under and by authority of the Municipalities Financial Recovery Act 47 of 1987 as amended be, and they are thereby ratified and confirmed as appropriate and authorized actions of the Borough of Colwyn.
Public comment.
Any public comment on this from the audience on Act 47?
Okay. Hearing none.
How about the gentleman from the state? Would you like to comment, or do you any general comments on it?
If you have any questions, I'd be willing to take any
If
questions.
anybody has any questions for the people from the state?
So if there's no public comment, Mr. President, it'd be appropriate to entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
Yes. Okay,
I make that motion.
okay,
Second.
okay. Motion made by Martha Van Auken, seconded by Jeanette Pray.
Jesse and Joe.
Okay, well, it's-
She said it first.
it don't
That
matter.
was first.
Okay, Jeanette was
Jesse
first.
agreed. Sorry, Paul.
Jeanette was second, all right. Any questions on the motion from council? We may have a roll call vote.
Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Pray.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Auken.
Yes.
President Muser.
Yes.
Mr. Brundage.
Yes.
Mr. Lesher. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a motion to pay the bills on the January list. Somebody want
I
to make a
that
motion?
to pay the bills.
Okay. You got a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Questions on the motion?
I'd like to make a motion to table the bills. Table that motion.
Did we, okay. Did we,
What,
We got a second.
didn't we have a motion last week to table them?
Why do you not want to pay the bills? I just, give me a good answer.
I'll
not
give you a
let
good
them go up
answer.
there.
Shh. I'll give you a good answer,
Go
Freddie.
ahead.
Name the bills that are being paid.
They're on
No,
this here.
they're on this list here. So we're paying Arthur J. Gallagher $52,000. We're paying JWF Specialties $25,000.
That's been carried for months.
Okay, are we paying the Payco bill for $110? Are we paying Delaware County Daily Times $58.29? I want to know what we're paying.
You're looking at the
This
wrong
equals-
list.
You're looking at the
This
wrong-
equals-
You're looking at the old list.
It's
It
the old
changed. It
Yes, it did change.
It
It's posted on the
Well, I
website.
don't see
It
it
was
changed.
emailed to you. It is in your
explained to
box,
you.
and it was posted on
It was
Facebook. When you look at my Facebook page
You
every
know what,
day,
Paula?
it's there.
Your Facebook page is
Yes,
the official
about
page
that.
of this borough.
It's on the borough website.
Is it the
on
official
the borough
page of this
website.
borough, the Facebook of your page?
Look at your
That's why I have to
updated
go
list.
Look for things.
Look at your
Well,
updated
sorry,
list.
Paul.
I'm saying, Freddie, last week, this is the bill that she gave us last
And she
week.
changed it up.
No,
She
she,
separated
but
everything up.
she didn't separate everything out. She added stuff. A&U services last week was $750. This week is $13,000.
And it's highlighted red. It's not going to be paid, Tonette.
It's not highlighted. It
She
says
stole them
property
again.
abatement,
Okay.
board
Yeah,
and
that's the
secure
correct list.
106. The one that we got, that Pat sent me,
see that.
was now it's
There's the
saying for the
savings, too.
plate rental. So who is A&U Services? There's other things that was changed from last week. If this is the bill list we tabled, we come back to the table this week, we get a brand new list, and there's more bills on it, like Pearson and Hughes. Last week it was one bill on there. It's two bills
I'm
on
gonna tell you,
there.
I'm not a Pearson and Hughes fan because that was the attorney, okay, when you brought somebody in from New Jersey to take my place on the vacancy board to drop the ball on it. I don't really want to pay the guy, but we gotta pay the guy. Okay, and that's not something that I wanted to do. I don't
Yeah,
wanna bring- When that man dropped the ball, when that man dropped the ball and allowed you to bring somebody in from New
understand
Jersey,
how
from
he
New Jersey to
became
take
our-
my place on the vacancy board, I really don't want to pay him, but we gotta pay him anyway.
But it's
That's one of your
it was a
tricks.
Stick eye, don't
That's one of your
pay.
tricks. All right,
Because
keep going with your
it was
tricks.
a conflict of interest because he was the Mayor Rutland's lawyer when Mayor Rutland sued us in court. So how is he had a conflict of interest, so how is he not in there? He should have never been there.
Everything
He should
you
never
did,
been there.
every dime that you spent, you used to borrow money constantly to pay lawyers for your political agenda, whatever it might have been. Okay, that's what you did. This council here is being more responsible than it's been in this borough for the last 20 years. Maybe it's not happy because you're
read
not
me
the
off
boss
the
no
bill.
more.
All right.
Read me
Fred,
off the bill.
No.
Listen, listen.
Mr.
I
President,
forgot my gavel. I'm gonna
Gave it
turn,
back.
listen, I'm gonna turn, it over to Paul Brown for a clarification on bills. This way,
Yeah, go ahead.
she can clear up all the,
Yeah,
problems. Go ahead, Paula.
This is the exact same bill list from last week with a few additions that have come in recently. Mr. Lesher asked me to separate the bills that we are not paying. They are still listed. They are highlighted in red. Under administrative, Martha Van Auken for $14,999. We are not paying that. Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Service for $62,245.56. We are not paying that. That's the insurance. That's the first quarter payment. We're not paying that until we rectify the fire company's insurance, because they were not supposed to be included in this because they are supposed to be paying their own bills. We are not supposed to be
Like
paying
Roe
them.
v.
fire
Wade
taxes
company.
The JWF Specialty Company, National Fire Insurance, for $25,000. That is a deductible for former police officer Brian Sterling, who is suing the borough.
I wanna know what we're
We are
paying.
not paying
Not what
that
we're not
bill.
paying.
If you look at the list, these are the
Martha,
ones that we are
just let them
not
take the vote. Just let
paying.
them take
Take
the
your
vote.
vote.
Michael Schley, Esquire, who's the president of council of Lansdowne
We don't
Borough.
want you to pay
We are not
y'all
paying
paid
him.
y'all
He,
lawyer out of the
Mr.
borough
President, I
funds.
had the floor. You turned it over to
Go
me.
ahead.
This is what-
Please.
Continue.
Michael Schley, Esquire, who is the president of council of Lansdowne Borough,
Supposed to be saying the bills we
he
are paying.
submitted a bill for $4,013.11 for an injunction that was
These are the-
filed
Not paying. I don't
in
wanna know what
January
we're paying.
that Patricia
are you
Williams,
explaining?
Martha
Excuse
Van
me.
Auken, and
Please
Tonette
explain
hired him
to
for. We're not paying that bill.
Paul, are you explaining,
I am explaining.
the ones that we're not paying?
I'm
She's reading
explaining.
everything off of that.
Miss-
I wanna know
Now,
what
she's
we're
explaining-
paying.
Please give me the
She's
floor.
explaining the ones she's
We
not
have
paying.
to
I know we're not paying. I
Well,
wanna know what we are voting
that's
to
an
pay.
accrual basis of accounting.
tell me what
You
we're
have
gonna
to
pay.
know what your bills are.
No, I need to know
You
what
need
you're
to
asking
know
us
what
to
your
vote
bills
to
are.
pay.
We don't have the money to
That's
pay
not
the
what
rest of
that's
these
not
bills.
what the vote is for. The vote is for us to pay the
AU
bills.
services, the bill is $13,417.
Paying everything on that list except the ones highlighted
Except
in
the
red.
highlighted ones
I
in red.
reviewed them, I've reviewed them all myself, and they're all legit, except the ones highlighted in red.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have that back, that's mine.
We sure can.
That is what we're talking
What
about.
bills are we voting to pay?
The ones that are on the list that
Go
are
ahead.
not in
Go ahead,
red.
Mrs. Wood, Councilman, go ahead, Mrs. Williams.
For the Michael Schley bill,
Right.
can you produce that bill for us, please?
I did.
I sure
have
can.
that bill at home. I have that bill at home.
I
It
want to
was-
see the date on that bill.
The date was February 14th. I contacted without spending the borough money and get Mr. McLean to do it because
February 2014?
February 14th
Thank
was
you.
when I had the bill.
That's all I needed to know.
Okay,
That's all
and I
needed to
called
know.
the man up without wasting the taxpayer's dollar and having Mr. McLean do it, and he is not, I gotta explain, he is not billing the borough anymore
Thank
for that
you.
bill, because he realized what went down here in the borough.
That he was wrong.
That he was wrong and that he shouldn't have been billing the poor people in Colwyn $4,000 and some dollars for somebody's political dream, for a case that was brought in front of a judge. And the last case that was brought in front of a judge that was similar to that case was 1866, a year after the Civil War. Okay, and that's how ridiculous the faction on this council was, because this is 150 years, there was only 2 cases of the same thing. And the guy tried to charge.
Then why did you have
1866.
the officers sworn in if they don't have to say the same thing that you had to say? You didn't say it.
Well-
You never said it.
Said what?
The oath.
The oath. You never said
All
the
the
oath.
paperwork that was lost in the office that you said we didn't hand in that I wanted.
Excuse me,
Ah,
you didn't say the oath.
Into the
Okay,
office that you broke
One
into.
thing
The
that
office that you
I know
broke
when
into.
somebody's trying to
The
get
office-
over, okay? So I made sure all
Can
the
we go for the
dots,
vote now?
all the dots were crossed.
everything.
Yeah, let's
Can we go for the vote now?
Everything looks legit
Can
except the
we
things
go for
highlighted.
the
All
vote
right.
now?
Any more questions
Give it
from
his wife.
council? All right.
Pat, don't leave yet.
I think what you have on the floor is a motion to pay the bills list.
Yeah.
I thought I tabled it.
Was there?
I didn't hear a
that?
second. I didn't hear a second.
I seconded.
No,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So there was a motion to table, which takes precedence, so you first vote on the motion to table.
Okay, thank
We
you,
have
Mr.
someone
Solicitor.
who stepped away from the table.
Well, let's get this.
Motion to
business done.
table. Mrs. Prey.
Pat,
Mrs. Prey. Not voting?
No, it's
you
not.
wait a
not
minute.
voting.
It's,
Mrs.
it's
Sprague,
not
motion
not
to
voting.
table.
I was
It's not
calling
not voting.
somebody.
Please
You
don't
can't
do
give me
that.
a time frame.
Please state your vote. Mrs.
Take it on vote
Sprague.
like you did last time.
I am voting yes to table the bills.
Mrs. Williams.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Auken.
Yes.
President Muser.
No.
Mr. Brundage.
No.
Mr. Lesher.
No.
Vote is 3-3.
3-3,
Mayor's
the motion
not here.
fails for,
Motion
doesn't have a
fails.
majority. So now you have a motion to pay the bills.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
Yes. It was
It was
made by
already-
Mr.
it was
Brody,
already
seconded by
seconded.
Mr.
Already
Lesser,
seconded.
yeah.
That was pending, so we just have to take a roll call and motion to
Okay.
pay the bills.
Mrs. Williams.
No.
Mrs. Prey.
No.
Mrs. Van Auken. I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No.
President Muser.
Yes.
Mr. Brundage.
Yes.
Mr. Lesher.
Yes.
Motion fails to pay the bills 3-3. Next is to adjourn.
All right. Next motion is, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make that motion.
Thank you. Second it.
Is there a second
Is
on
there
the
a
motion?
second? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I want to make a comment before this meeting's adjourned.
Go ahead, Mr. Lesser.
Okay, I think let's talk about moving forward.
The checks were already
Okay.
sent, Freddie. don't-
Okay, you guys don't want to move forward. You want to look back and try to cover up everything that went on. And
No,
guess what? It ain't
sorry,
going to
Freddie.
happen, Martha.
Freddie, I'm not trying to
It
cover
ain't
up
going to
anything,
happen.
Freddie. I'm not trying to cover up anything.
All the money that you took out of poor people's pockets and stuck in your friend's pocket is not going to be
Let me
denied,
just
because
tell you
that's what you
something,
guys
Freddie.
did for 5
Let me just tell you
years.
something,
For
Freddie.
5 years.
Let me tell you something.
5 years you stuck money in people's pockets. And they're
That
all not
woman
here.
took a salary the first day she worked
Well,
here.
guess what? They're all
She didn't
not
work
here.
here a week and she took
They're
a
all not
salary.
here. They're all not here. The borough's just running fine. What's it about? $300,000 worth of salaries?
You better tell
Thank
me
you,
what
everybody.
happened, 'cause they want-
Okay.
Thanks, Tom, for coming.
Get less money
State
and
is
maybe.
supposed to go
There's a motion and a second on the floor. Gonna
Yeah.
take a
Oh,
Yeah,
vote to
okay.
adjourn?
Blaine signed. and
all
so
in
did
favor of
Colwyn.
adjournment?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Better put that in there too, guys. She told me that it's back. We must be cold. I wrote this. Yeah.
Hold this guy.
Cold, tell us.
Delaware County District Attorney's Office has it.
So the only
Yeah,
thing
yeah, I'll sign
Detective
it, sure.
Lithgow, how about that?
And
You want me to sign my copy, or do you have a copy of this?
your copy is just fine. You
For the
can,
resolution?
yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
No,
Sign, you have
let's
an extra
see.
copy?
Hold on.
Or do you want me to sign?